All right, we're going to read chapter 5, and Lulu is getting a sister. In the previous chapter, Lulu was at Camp Sisterhood, and she was about to meet her little sister, fake sister, that she was going to get to help her become a better sister. Chapter 5. After Call Me Debbie had shown off and sent off the little kids, she handed out a list to each sit. A list of sisterly tips that would help to assure them, she assured them, of a wondrous, life expanding time at Camp Sisterhood. Lulu went back to her cabin, where, before curling up with her favorite vampire book, she impatiently looked over the sisterly tip sheet. Tip number 1: never forget that you're here to get yourself used to having a little brother or sister. Treat the boy or girl you've been assigned to as if she or he is really your brother or sister. Try to find things to love, no matter how hard it is to find them, about your little brother or sister. And always remember, there are things he or she finds hard to love about you, too. Wonder what kind of things, Lulu wondered. Would a little brother or sister possibly find hard to love about her? She couldn't think of any. Not one. Tip number 2: try to choose activities that you and your younger sibling will both enjoy. If these involve competing with each other, like races or board games, be nice and let him or her win some of the time. This tip made no sense to Lulu, who wondered how, if she was competing, she could be nice, especially because it was hard enough for her to be nice when she wasn't competing. Tip number 3: when your younger sibling is making a birdhouse or a bookmark in arts and crafts, or figuring out a clue in a scavenger hunt, you need to be patient. Let him or her make mistakes and try a long time, or say, I can't do this, before you gently, kindly offer help. No rolling of the eyes, no heavy sighs, and you're never allowed to say, you messed up again, or how dumb can you get? Or if there are tears, wah, 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 cry baby. So, what exactly, Lulu wondered, are you supposed to say when the dumb crybaby messes up? Tip number 4: there will be no biting, scratching, kicking, hair pulling, foot stomping, punching, poking, pinching, even if your younger sibling bites or scratch or kicks you or pulls your hair or stomps on both your feet or gives you a punch or a poke or a pinch or whatever. Instead, you'll explain to him or her that we at Camp Sisterhood deeply believe in nonviolence and no one is ever permitted to hurt someone else. And that when we're mad and sad and really want to zap somebody, we use respectful sisterly words instead. Lulu completely agreed that we ought to use words whenever we're feeling mad or sad. But first, a zap. Tip 5: perhaps the hardest problem a big sister has to face is sharing with a younger sister or brother. Sharing a room, a dessert, certain games, certain toys. In addition, because they can't help it, a younger brother or sister will take and mess around with your stuff that is yours only, completely yours. So, unless you really love sharing, which you probably don't, though it would be great if you did, you need to find a firm but pleasant way to tell your sibling that it's yours. This is mine. To which you suggest to which we suggest you sweetly add, and if you want to use mine, you must ask permission. Rather than a not so sweet, and keep your grubby hands off my stuff or else. Lulu had no intention of letting anyone's grubby hands get anywhere near her stuff. She'd finished reading. After she'd finished reading, Lulu put down her sisterly tips and gave some serious thought into tip number 5. It talked about sharing stuff. But what it didn't talk about was sharing not just stuff, but your mom and dad. Sharing your mom and your dad with another person. A person who will become your actual sibling. A sibling whose actual mom and dad are also your mom and dad. A sibling who will now expect to receive from your mom and dad as much love, time and attention and goodies as you get. This was a nightmare. There was no way Lulu was sharing her mom and her dad, or even her goldfish, with anyone. So, if all these nicey nice tips were supposed to make her actually happy to have a sister, this definitely was not going to happen. There'd be no finding things to love, or enjoying, or kindly and gently. There'd be no patiently waiting, no offers to help. In fact, they were giving a prize for the worst sit in the history of Camp Sisterhood. Lulu was determined to do her utterly, totally Luluist best to win it. And that is the end of chapter 5. Oh man, what's going to happen next? She doesn't seem too happy or on board with this. Make a prediction, and I'll see you next time.